kind of share with us, keep climbing, what that means to you, to the external customers and the internal employees?
Well, first of all, thank you all for coming tonight. It's great to be here. It's a wonderful tribute and honor to be with you tonight, Larry. Keep climbing. It's a little bit of an interesting story. We went through a pretty difficult time post 9/11. In fact, the airline, like many of the airlines, wound up going through a restructuring process, wound up going through bankruptcy, almost wound up losing the company as a whole. And as we were coming through the restructuring, we had to talk about what was our message going to be, first of all, to our customers, but also to ourselves, to our own people. And we came up with the tagline, keep climbing, because it was an honest reflection of the fact that we weren't that good yet, but we were going to get better, and we were going to get back on top.
I look at this as being probably the biggest climb of your life. How did you revive this brand that was really almost out of business?
Yeah. Well, I just want to correct one thing in your statement. I just ran the New York City Marathon a couple months ago. That was the toughest fight I've ever been through at 61 years of age.
Right in Beantown, expect to see Ed running Heartbreak Hill, right?
The fight to revive Delta. It was hard. It was arduous because the longevity of our workforce is very, very senior, and they're very proud of what they do. Unfortunately, the company had let them down. We launched a program with our team. This is back in 2006, where we brought our people in 200 at a time, just talking to them and listening to them and answering questions and reconnecting with the heart. We didn't have any money then. We were all broke. This is a company that took pay cuts out of our people, the only way we could survive. We took pay cuts up to 50%.
You also took a pay cut of 50% to come back to Delta.
I took a 50% pay cut so that I could come back, because if I hadn't, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to lead.
The next time you go flying on a Delta flight, you might bump into Ed on the plane, but you're not going to see him in first class. So share with us your coach experiences and why you do it.
It's a message to our customers that I want them to have the best seat. I don't want to take it. It's a message to my leadership team. You should see the looks on the faces when I walk through the first class cabin and some of my leaders are sitting up front and I'm in the back. Before they all try to give me their seat, and I said, no, that's okay.
What can we envision in Boston about your expansion plans in terms of schedules and routes, facilities in Boston?
Well, Boston is real important for us. So as many of you know, we have a wonderful terminal here. In fact, we built it. It opened shortly after 9/11, and unfortunately the world that it was built for never wound up arriving. And by the end of this year, we'll have filled that facility back up again, and it'll be the first time Delta has ever fully operated its own facility that it built here.
Talk about game changers. We saw so many things you've done, and I mean, really, the amount of time you've achieved it really is remarkable. But the new Airbus 220,
we're the first airline in the Americas to be flying this plane. It's a narrow body plane, meaning it's got 110 seats on it. So typically for smaller flights, airlines use regional jets or smaller tubes. This is actually a large mainline tube, only smaller in size in terms of number of seats. This plane will fly up to 3,000 nautical miles. It's even got a window in the bathroom.
What innovation will Delta be creating that's going to be quite impactful for air travel and for the industry in general?
We want to be seen as a trusted consumer brand. The other thing is an expanded focus internationally. My dream is who's the global airline of choice in the world.
I have this really quick nanosecond question, Ed. It's called Up Close and Personal with Ed Bastian, all right? We know America runs on Duncan. What does Ed run on?
Ed runs on coffee, I guess.
Share with us one word that describes you best.
Ambitious.
What advice would you give your 25-year-old self?
To make certain you put yourself in a situation that the people around you are better than yourself. You learn from, you create more, you have opportunity to grow.
When you're escaping from the world of Delta and you shut off, what and where might we find Ed?
On a golf course in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Who was the one person who's made the biggest influence in your career?
I have to say my mom, and that is absolutely true, by the way, because she is my hero. She got me to believe in myself and the confidence to go take on tough stuff.
Tell us something or one thing we don't know about you.
I was an accountant with Price Waterhouse, and I used to be the guy that would dress in a tux at the MTV Video Music Awards and bring out the ballots.
The last question, if we could rewind the film of Ed Bastian, is there anything you would have changed in the last 20, 25 years?
No, not a thing. I'm a product of my learnings. You know, I believe failures are good. I don't like failure. Believe me, I hate failure. I'll fight like hell not to fail. But that's how you learn.
I want to thank you for being a great this time, and also you're a true visionary, an awesome leader, and what you do with this airline is remarkable, and we just wish you continued success.
Thank you, Larry. I appreciate it. Thank you all.